Good morning. Now we're going to talk about the domain search in the CSI Linux case management system, the OSINT tab. So right now we're going to take a look at, let's go Tesla. We're going to tie this to a person of interest, a suspect or witness, Elon Musk. Now, when we do a search, this is going to be using Sublister, DNS Dumpster, DNS Recon, and a few other internal testing. I also want to mention it is a good idea to not run the brute force, especially if you want a quick response. If you do run brute force, it could take potentially hours. So doing this gives you a pretty quick result. Looks like this is complete. We only have one. Let's go and verify it real quick. Tulsa. So that shows that I misspelled it. Let's go and try this one more time. Let's do Tesla. So I'm not going to check this one. Let's do another search. Again, it starts the process. It does show existing domain. That's good. Let's go ahead and run the enumeration again. Because what we're going to want to do is do a quick verify or validate DNS. This saves you some time too. Outside of that, what you're going to be stuck doing is clicking on each one of these, verifying that it loads up, and this would just be for the web application. So if you do validate DNS, that goes one step further and then tries to identify each one of these is actually tied to an actual IP address. So looks like it is done. Consolidated 51 unique domain entries. Let's go and hit validate. This takes a few minutes because it's doing a lot of stuff in the back end. It is trying to identify the domain, get the IP addresses for the domain, then the subdomains, get the IP addresses for the subdomains, and then it's also doing some IP lookups or IP intel related to those subdomains too. So the more subdomains that you have, the longer it's going to take. So what I'll do is do a quick time warp. I'm going to go ahead and pause this video, and then we'll come back once these have been vetted. Okay, I am back. This did take a little bit of time because it is trying to grab content related to the DNS subdomains and IP addresses. So at this point, any of these that are still here should have an IP address bound to them already. So the biggest thing to remember is this does take a little bit of time. It's doing a lot of stuff in the background. The more subdomains it has, the longer it's going to take. So once it's done with the validation, again, these are systems that it was able to determine that most likely an IP address associated, so they're live domains. You do need to go ahead and mark each one of these. The manual is a purposeful process because it's the job of the analyst or the investigator to vet and verify everything. If you just hit select all, that's where, unfortunately, people end up becoming lazy. They miss things or they put things that shouldn't be there, and that causes issues with especially potential court cases. So I picked Tesla for a couple reasons. One, it does tie into Elon Musk, and there was a lot of stuff in here. So when we hit the report, it should come up with a lot of good information. So when you run report, if certain things have not run in the past in this specific session, it's going to run it too. So I'm going to hit report. And again, this is going to be one of those hurry up and wait situations. So it's reporting, and then we'll time warp and come back here in a minute. Okay, now we do have our report that just popped up. We got information related to the one site that we captured. A little bit further down, we also have links to all the items that were related to the Tesla.com and an Intel report. So for agency information, so this is tied into what's on the left-hand side, and case information, which is tied into the left-hand side as well. So at this point, that's a quick and easy demo, at least, of the domains. But just remember, whenever you're doing any sort of domain investigation, it is going to take a long time. It is going out and contacting each one of the sites, each one of the potential subdomains, and trying to vet and verify if you do validate DNS. If you don't, when you click on everything, it's still going to try to grab some of the information to put in the bottom down here. But when it comes down to it, biggest thing to come think about is patience. You always vet and verify, but you need to wait until the results come in. Once they do come in, you need to vet and make sure it's false positive, false negative, true positive, or true negative.